We love every competitor in the market.
We have the e-motor, the drivetrain is fully vertically integrated.
Since the beginning of this year, our electric car sales have doubled compared to last year.
For the last decade, we were told that electric cars were the future, that gas cars were outdated, primitive, and on their way to extinction. Governments pushed it. The media praised it. Automakers poured billions into it, and investors called it the biggest disruption since the smartphone. But today, something unexpected is happening. Drivers are switching back to gas cars. EV sales are slowing. Used EV prices are collapsing. Charging networks can't keep up. Rental companies are backing out, and early adopters are saying, "I regret buying an EV." This is the real story behind the EV backlash, not the hype, not the marketing, but the economics, the failures, and the reasons everyday people are returning to gasoline. Let's begin. For years, electric cars were marketed as the perfect solution: silent, clean, cheap to run, and technologically superior. But behind the promise was a timeline problem. Governments wanted EV adoption to rise faster than the infrastructure could be built. The result? Millions of drivers bought their first EV and discovered that the transition wasn't as smooth as advertised. Cut to real examples: charging stations broken or offline, hours-long charging waits during holidays, batteries degrading in cold climates, higher electricity prices, insurance skyrocketing, repair delays. For many, the EV experience became a burden, not an upgrade. Let's talk money. When EVs first hit the market, buyers assumed the prices would fall, just like smartphones, computers, and every other electronic product. But something strange happened. Prices didn't fall, they rose. Batteries remained expensive, materials like lithium and nickel spiked, labor costs rose, and many EV manufacturers struggled to scale profitably. Then came the killer blow. Used EV prices collapsed. Some EVs dropped 40 to 60% in value in just 2 years, much faster than gas cars. People realized, if I buy an EV today, will it be worth anything next year? And that uncertainty made buyers hesitate and drove many back to gas cars. If the EV revolution had one fatal flaw, it wasn't the cars, it was the chargers. Public charging networks became overloaded, maintenance was inconsistent, and reliability was unpredictable. Studies showed that around 25% of public fast chargers didn't work at any given time. Add to that, long wait times during holidays, slow charging in cold weather, different charging standards, broken payment systems, and the experience became frustrating. For people who live in apartments or cities, charging at home isn't even possible, and for long-distance travelers. They discovered that a road trip with an EV takes much longer than with a gas car. Drivers started asking a simple question: why am I paying more for less convenience? If you want proof that something is going wrong, look at the rental car industry. These companies ran the real-world experiment at scale. They bought thousands of EVs. They tested them across cities, climates, and driving styles. And what happened? Many discovered higher repair costs, longer downtime, expensive bodywork, battery issues, customer complaints, and low resale value. Some companies reported that EV collision repairs cost double or triple compared to gas cars. Customers weren't happy either. They complained about range anxiety, charging confusion, slow charging, returning cars with low charge, and travel delays, and one by one. Major rental companies began scaling back their EV fleets. When the companies that operate at maximum efficiency can't make EVs profitable, that's a warning sign for consumers. EVs in cold weather are not friends. As temperatures drop, EV batteries lose efficiency, sometimes up to 30 to 40% of their range. Drivers in colder countries experienced range dropping dramatically in winter, slower charging, frozen charging ports, cabin heating draining the battery, emergency towing after battery loss. For many, winter became the breaking point. They switched back to gas cars because I need a car that works the same in every season. Insurance companies quietly became one of the biggest obstacles to EV adoption. Why? Because EVs are more expensive to repair, harder to source parts for, built with more complex electronics, difficult to diagnose, costly to replace if the battery is damaged. Some insurers even totaled EVs for minor battery area damage. Some companies refused to insure certain EV models altogether, and for many families, that was the final straw. Governments around the world announced EV-only deadlines, but many of these deadlines were based on optimism, not reality. They didn't anticipate supply shortages, charging station delays, consumer hesitation, rising electricity prices, declining EV resale values. Slower than expected adoption countries began delaying or walking back their EV-only timelines. Suddenly, the message shifted from everyone must buy an EV now to maybe not yet, and consumers responded accordingly. Here's the truth. Gas cars never stopped improving. Modern engines became more fuel efficient, more reliable, cheaper to maintain, longer lasting, less polluting than older generations. Hybrid cars, especially plug-in hybrids, became a sweet spot. Electric for short trips, gasoline for long trips. No range anxiety, no charging problems. And while EVs struggled, gas and hybrid vehicles quietly became more appealing. Consumers didn't switch back to gas cars because they hate EVs. They switched back because gas cars simply work everywhere, for everyone, all the time. So what does the future look like? EVs are not disappearing. They will improve, and eventually they will dominate certain markets. But the timeline? It's much longer than expected. Gas cars still have decades of life ahead. Hybrids may become the real winners of the next decade. EVs will grow slowly, not explosively. And consumers will choose based on practicality, not pressure. The EV revolution isn't over. It's just entering a new phase. One where buyers decide the pace, not governments, not investors, not marketing. And right now, those buyers are choosing gas. Thank you for watching. If you want more deep dives like this, make sure to subscribe, leave a comment, and tell me, are you sticking with an EV or going back to gas?